Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode number 13 of the Stevenage Football Club podcast, hosted by myself and Borough fan Matt Farley, along with guests of the podcast, discussing everything Borough, everything League Two, every week of the season. Now, it's been a bit of a busy week. There's been a lot happen, and we're going to dissect all of the stuff that's happened at the football club over the last week. Matches, the last podcast, which was an absolute hit, I have to say, on Monday, and we'll talk about that later. Now, I am only joined by one person today. Now, Harley Clark has ditched us, really, today.
He has.
Harley has ditched us, along with Joe, along with everyone else.
Disappointing.
But I am left with a very cracking individual, diehard Borough fan, and I like to say, a second in command as well now. Danny Lusby, welcome back, Danny.
Thank you for having me, Matt. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to tonight's podcast. Should be a good one.
Yeah, man. I know that you really wanted to come on Monday, didn't you? But we just couldn't do it at the time.
I was so desperate to come. I was really upset, but it is what it is, and I hope you, Joe, and Harley had a fantastic time.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Must have been an amazing feeling to meet Mark and Alex. Two great people at this club.
No, it really was a pleasure, and we'll get on to a little bit about Monday later on. Now, a lot of stuff's happened. It's been one of those really busy weeks again when we've had two matches. We'll start off with our first match on Saturday. It was the start of a new era, I thought, on Saturday. Mark Sampson's first match as Borough manager. I think we all went into that match with a lot of optimism, didn't we? Unfortunately, it didn't end that way. We lost 3-2 in quite a competitive match, to say the least. Borough going 1-0 up, and then going 2-1 down, then going 2-2, and then unfortunately conceding a last minute, 84th minute goal, which cost us another result again, and it sees us go 24th with 3 points bottom of the table. What were your thoughts about the match, Danny, on Saturday at home against Carlisle?
Yeah, I thought it was a very good game. A 5-goal thriller. Obviously, we turned out to be the losers. We have been the losers for the past 9 games. Things have got to change, obviously. Sampson's come in, and, he's the man to try and change it around, which I believe he could. I've got faith in Mark. And to be honest, I thought the football was good. I actually thought the football was good. I think, because we allowed, Harry McCurdy, who's ex-Borough, we allowed him too much pace on the wing, which allowed him to, run rings around our defenders. And it just wasn't to be, but I actually thought there was a lot of promising football there. Curtis was brilliant, getting 2 goals. He was on fire that game.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's his first game. It's Mark's first game, so you've got to give the man time.
I agree. I think we went into that match, and for me, it was just about backing Mark and backing the players. We've gone through a lot of stuff last week, and I was really excited to see Mark's style of football. I was really impressed with what I saw. With us Borough fans have been used to seeing the last matches before Saturday, a lot of hoofball where the ball was in the air a lot. And what I liked was we started getting the ball down on the pitch and playing. What I really liked is Mark tried injecting a style of play. He was using diamond formations all over the pitch to try and switch the play and then counter the team. And I thought it was effective. We played through the lines. We created some good chances. And it was great for Curtis to get 2 goals. Top goal scorer, as you said, now with 3 goals. And I think that it was a really positive performance. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing to lose and not just get a point, because we know, having a point, that'd be 4 points and something to kick on from. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a tricky game. And let's be honest as well, Louis Fernandez was playing at centre half. I was really happy for Louis to get a game again. But you always know with Louis that he's very young and he's still learning, and he was marking a really fast guy in Harry McCurdy, as us Borough fans know.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't meant to be. But it was great seeing Mark and Revs on the touchline, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. He was clapping the fans before the game.
He was. He had so much passion.
He really cares. His enthusiasm is fantastic, and he shows great characteristics. Loves the game, and his knowledge in football is superb.
Do you know what I loved about him as well? And this is what I love about Mark, and I love him that he's our manager. He has so much passion in his interviews. Prior to the match, I think we played it last week, didn't we? He was oozing passion and enthusiasm. And after the match, it was probably, in my opinion, one of the most honest interviews I've seen in a Borough manager for years.
Yeah. He talks a lot of sense.
He does, and you could generally see that he was devastated with the loss. One other thing we have to give a shout out for as well was Curtis Guthrie's interview. That was, again, I've never seen Curtis have an interview like that. That was pure emotion. So well, didn't he? And what I love about Saturday, and you can see, and I'm going to get onto this later when we talk about the podcast on Tuesday that was released, with Mark and Revs, is I think that Mark has injected a lot of love and care into these players. And you can see that. You can see that in Curtis's interview. And I think it will eventually come good with his team. He's invested a lot of love and care into these players at the club. And I think he'll be rewarded with results because he's put so much care into the players. You know, I remember being a player and managers that used to love you used to run through brick walls for. You know, used to put your body in front of every ball, used to run every blade of grass. And I think Mark Sampson's that type of manager. And Alex Ravel was assistant. So that was one thing that I really liked about Saturday. But, bottom of the table, 3 points. And it was a bit disappointing to see Scunthorpe win as well. So
yeah, definitely.
Injected us.
But we could turn it around. You know, we've got the passion in our team. And we've got a fantastic manager in Mark Sampson who will get these players playing the way they should be.
I completely agree.
With Ravel's help as well. Ravel will get a lot of managerial experience as well. So,
but I think it was the start of a new chapter Saturday, and I'm excited to see where it goes this season. I really am. Now we'll quickly come on to the 3-word analysis that I tweeted out that support sent in. I'm just going to quickly fly through the 3-word analysis from Saturday's 3-2 loss at home. Rhys Donnelly said, "So very nearly." Ian Coles, signs of improvement. Michael said, "That Guthrie interview." I like that, Michael. That's a good one. Patrick Jackson, "Not there. Sad." This is quite good. The Stevenage Fan Zone. I don't know who this is, but this is a Twitter page. Stevenage Fan Zone said, "Nail-biting performance." Which is not a bad one. Boulders said, "No improvement yet." Nick, "Experienced defenders required." Craig Keenan, "Tactical balance needed." Colleen, "Tide is turning." And Rosehead Football, "Kennedy not backtracking." So there's quite a few different variety of 3-word analysis there.
That was 4 words at the end.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Well, all backtracking being one. One that I like from that is signs of improvement and tide is turning, because that's what I kind of took the message from Saturday.
Yeah. Also, I did find it a bit nail-biting as well.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I really thought we'd nick a goal.
I did as well.
I thought it was nail-biting,
but
personally.
You know, these things happen, especially with new setups at the club. I was happy we scored 2 goals. One other thing that not a lot of people have failed to mention, we scored 6 goals in our last 3 games from that point. So that was a big positive for me.
And it's improvement, isn't it, for our attacking force? So
it's improvement. I thought Guthrie's 2 goals were great. I thought his header was superb. And let's be honest, again, we had some couple of really good chances to possibly even nick the win, but it didn't happen, and we move forward. So we will move forward to Tuesday night. Borough's
Northampton at home.
Borough's 9th League 2 match of the season. Now, we've just spoke a little bit about Saturday. You know, we moved into Tuesday, didn't we? And I think we all said, come on, let's get a win, lads. Let's really back these players. Let's back this group of men and be one at the club and be together. What were your thoughts on it, Dan? It was an interesting match, a 1-0 loss. I thought the team played well, and I think we had chances to nick a point. What were your thoughts?
Well, it wasn't like Carlisle. I don't think we was as good as we were against Carlisle. I thought there was a lot of hoofball that game towards Elliot List. And I think, because, Elliot List is a very short striker. I think, is he a striker, Elliot List? I believe his main position is.
I believe Elliot List, from my knowledge, I thought he was a winger, from my knowledge.
Yeah.
But looking at him, he could play off a big man.
He looked like he was up front.
Because he's got a lot of pace.
He does.
So...
Yeah. My worry on Tuesday was, he was getting beaten by, 6 foot tall defenders. And, I think it was a lot of hoofball towards Elliot and, wasted opportunities. Because, you can see he's very short and you've got massive defenders that are, triple the size of him. You need, someone, Guthrie should be Guthrie should be the one dealing with the defenders and getting his head on the ball and, creating the opportunities for List, to try and score a goal. And that was one of the problems on Tuesday. And defensively, I thought, we looked a bit shaky.
Yeah.
Although I thought Scott Cuthbert played very well. But I thought Luther and Kellen Watts weren't at their best.
Weren't at the races.
But we just had a bad day. We had a bad day, and we all have bad days. If you don't have bad days, then you're not human. So
yeah, I completely agree. Do you know what? Again, I thought it was a good performance. I thought that we deserved a point. I think we created some good chances. We had a header in the first half from Charlie Carter, which I don't know how that hasn't gone in.
Yeah.
On another day, he buries that.
Though.
On another day, he buries that.
Yeah.
You got to remember Curtis Guthrie's shot when he's inside the box. On another day, might go in. Danny Newton's header again on another day might go in. I thought we created good chances, and stats don't lie. 19 shots.
Yeah.
And what was it? 7 or 9 corners. I mean,
we were excellent. I thought up front.
I think one thing that I was a little bit disappointed about was set pieces, because we are finding goals hard to come by. I know we scored 6 before Tuesday, but if you actually look, we've only scored 6 in the division from 9 league matches. It's under a goal per game. I'd like us to be more threatening from set pieces. We've got some really good players in the air. Cuthbert, Guthrie, Watts, Stokes. We've got some really good Danny Newton. We've got some really good attacking players in the air, and that was my only disappointing thing. We had a lot of corners and we wasted a lot of them. The only chance we had from a set piece was Charlie Carter's header, and he didn't score. So that was my only disappointing thing. But I thought it was a good performance. I liked the setup that Mark started with. Yeah, you've got an argument to say there was a lot of long ball to Elliot List, but I think Mark's trying to implement a style of football, and he was only in the job for a week, and it's going to take longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no win.
10-15 minutes, I thought, we were absolutely superb. We were all over them.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, first 15 minutes.
Do you know what I think it is at the minute? And I said this to a few people on Saturday, and this is going to change. When Borough are turning it on, when we're turning it on in a match, we're not scoring. We'll have a really good period of football, but we're just not scoring in important parts of the match. Yeah. I had a look at a bit of homework, and we've scored over the 11 matches 5 goals when Borough have turned it on and scored in a good period of football. Those goals were Southend in the League Cup, where we were on top of them and Dean Parrott scored the screamer. The 2 goals against Macclesfield, where we got on top of the match. Guthrie scored, then Luther scored that absolute screamer. And Cheltenham, where we scored those 2 goals in the second half and we were on top. I didn't say Carlisle because at those points in the match, I don't particularly think we were on top. I think they were just even matches. So when we've been on top, we've scored 5 goals in 11 matches. And that's my only thing. When we're turning it on, we're not scoring enough goals. And what's happening, when teams are turning it on and getting on top of us, we're letting in silly goals. So that was my only thing that I took. But do you know what? I was proud of the players. I was proud of Mark. I was proud of Alex Ravel. I thought they really give it a good goal on Tuesday. And okay, we come up short. And okay, we're still bottom. We're 24th with 3 points from 27 with no win. And we all know that's bad. But I thought they give it a good goal on Tuesday. And I think there's a foundation to improve.
We're working hard. We've got to get up, keep going. And the fans need to play a part in it as well. Get behind the lads, because the more support they get, the more they will get that confidence in them. Yeah. They've got to play for the shirt, play for the supporters in the club. Because at the moment we really need to start picking up points. Before anything bad happens.
I agree.
I still think it's very early. September. Yeah. It's still early. The season don't end till the end of April, I believe. Yeah. So we've got plenty of time to turn it around.
I completely agree. And do you know what as well? All right, with 3 points, no win, but you can see if we can just get a win from somewhere, get up to 6 points. Boost. Yeah, get up to 6 points. I can see a path and an avenue for our club and our team climbing the league table. Once we get into that pack above us, use those other teams to try and climb that division. Let's compare ourselves against those teams and let's try and better those to climb the table. I think Mark will do it. I think he's a great man. He's a great coach. I think the same about Alex Ravel, and I think they're very experienced in the game, and I think they'll turn the tide for us. I really do. But I thought Tuesday was a good performance, and we were unfortunate not to get a point. In my opinion,
the work rate was absolutely superb Tuesday.
You can't fault the players.
Yeah,
you can't fault it. It was great to see Cuthbert back. wasn't it?
Yeah, and I thought he put in a great shift.
Great shift, and it's nice that he sorted out that injury, hopefully, going forward. But yeah, 24th, 3 points, no win. A lot of people were disappointed. Again, 3-word analysis. I'll fly through this before we talk about the big match on Saturday. Paul said, Kennedy's useless. It's a bit of a ruthless one from Paul there. Not so sure about that, Paul. I think Kennedy's trying to find his feet at the minute, to be honest with you.
He's not 100% fit either, though.
Well, I think Kennedy's got a lot of talent, and I think he'll come good this season. I think he'll play a lot better under Mark than he did Dino, in my opinion. So I'm not so sure about Kennedy's. I think Kennedy's going to come good. Reece Donnelly, big issues. You said that's in 3 words there. Hartley Borough said, we need help. Nate said relegation looks likely. I mean,
Nate's got strong ones there.
Nate's got a point there, but come on, Nate. It's only 9 matches, mate. We will get there. Pud says we'll be fine. Boulders, we lost again. Callum Jackson, big rocket required. And Sleep Twitch said time running out. So some interesting 3-word.
I wouldn't say time's running out just yet. Like I said, like you said, 9 games in, you can't really say it's time's running out.
I don't particularly think you say time's running out. I think the stat that I took was, we always say every season 50 points gets the football club safety, and in my opinion that's a massive thing for us because we've built this club for so many years and we'd hate to see it go back down. So for me, I say get the 50 points and then see where we go from there. We don't know what the result's going to be on Saturday. Hopefully the boys can get a point or a win, but after the match on Saturday we've got 36 matches left. We've wasted 10 of them, so we haven't got many points. In order for Borough to get to 50 points or 51 points after Saturday, we'd need to require 16 wins. So that would be 16 wins out of 36. That is basically half. Because if you think half of 36 is 18 and with 16s are only 2 under it, that's my only worry, that we'd have to win nearly half of our matches to just get to 50 points.
We've got a lot of work to do.
So I know that we're not in a bad place. I mean, we are in a bad place. But what I mean is, no one's panicking too much because it's only September. But what people need to understand is we need 16 wins out of 36 after Saturday to get to 50 points. Now, that's nearly half. That's a lot of wins. So we need to start putting wins on the table quickly. So it's going to be interesting. With that in mind, Saturday, 10th League 2 match of the season, away at Forest Green, a really tough match. We know what we need to do. We know that we need a win. We take a point, in my opinion, and get the club into a position where, hopefully we get a win and we've got 6 points on the table to kick on from.
And push on.
I'm going to ask for your opinion on this match Saturday, Danny. A lot of Borough fans are backing Mark, and at the same time I think a lot of Borough fans are panicking. What do we think about this match this Saturday? Obviously we're bottom. Forest Green are currently 5th with 17 points, unbeaten in the last 3 matches, and we've lost our last 3. What are your thoughts on Saturday?
It's going to be a very, very difficult game because Forest Green got a good home record. They were in the playoffs last season. They've got a very strong squad. They lost their main striker in Christian Deutsch, and they're still doing well even without him. And they've got a good manager in Mark Cooper, and it's going to be a very tough game because it's away from home. The players are going to obviously be a bit low on confidence in this game because obviously we have lost our first 9 games. The fans are not going to be so optimistic, which I don't blame them, but we need to try and show a bit of optimism in this game, to believe that we can get the 3 points, and we're going to have to be at our best. Yeah. Simply, we've got to be a lot better defensively. We need to be a bit more ruthless in attack, pressure. Just go at them, go for the win, and even if we get a point.
A point's positive. It's 4 points beneath the club, isn't it? It's
a
positive
away from
result.
home against 5th in the table. A point won't be a bad result.
I think for me, one, I'm just looking forward to seeing the team play. Now Mark's in charge. It's kind of given me a bit more love, strangely, for the club. It's crazy. I'm more excited and enthused to go to matches than I was under the previous manager. So I'm really excited for Saturday. I take a point. I think a point there is a massive result.
Fantastic result.
They're going to beat a lot of teams there, as they have done already. And I think us going there and getting a point for our team and our club, I think will be a positive. win there, and I will say this, it will change our season. If we go there on Saturday and win, it will change our whole season. And I'll say this for two reasons. One, it's such a massive place to go to in terms of a game because it's a tough place. If we win, the players are going to be on an absolute high going into Cambridge at home next Saturday in October. And two, the players are being starved of wins at the minute. And I know how hungry they are to get a win and how intense they're feeling now for a win and how desperate they are. And once they get that win, whether that's Saturday or the Saturday after, the Saturday after that, I don't think this team will stop winning because I think it'll be like an eating machine. Once they've had a taste, they won't stop eating. I think, as silly as that example is, but the point's there. I don't think they'll stop winning. I think they'll just keep winning and go on a long run, as we see with teams that start off down the bottom.
They'll have that real thrive and eager in them to go and push on. They'll have a lot of confidence, get that first win, and that's it. You've got your first 3 points. You're not the only team in the league.
We need to get that duck off our back of a win. If it doesn't come Saturday, it's a tough match. I can kind of go, to win there with our form is a big ask. But for me, if the players play well, I'll be so proud of them. If they can go there and give over 100% for the badge and work their socks off and run for every ball and run through brick walls for all of us. That's right. Yeah. I'll be so proud of them. Whatever the result, I'll come home and go, do you know what? We give it a real good go there and all right, if we haven't got a result, we haven't got a result. If we have, brilliant. But I'll be very proud of the players and Mark and Revs if they go there and play really well. So for me, I want the team to play well Saturday and keep the thing. The other thing as well is I tend to find the last 9 matches we've gone at the game. We've tried to attack the opposition with 3 up top and quite open. What I would do if I was Mark, I would play a tighter team. I'd play 5 in the middle. I would make us really difficult to break down. I would put 5 across and I would say, right, break us down for 80 minutes and be really solid. When we get the ball, then we can push our numbers forward on the wide areas and up top. But get through to 80 minutes and then if we're going to win the match, nick a goal. It's what we used to do a couple of seasons ago. We'd go to away matches and we'd nick how many goals did Matty Godden score in the last 20 minutes of matches? Accrington, Portsmouth, Harry McCurdy at Mansfield. Well. Nick a goal in the last minute. And that's what I would implement. And then if we get to the last 10 minutes, we've got a point. Take the point. But if we can win it, then it's there. Do you see what I mean?
Take that opportunity.
It's going to be tough. We're going to listen to Mark Sampson now on his interview today. So we're just going to take a quick listen to Mark. His interview was really, really good. We're just going to take a listen. Sorry about that. We're just going to take a listen now.
Okay, Mark. Obviously, a very disappointing last couple of games. How have you reflected on those 2 matches?
Yeah, disappointing results, absolutely. We came into 2 home games hoping to get a turn in our fortunes. We ideally wanted 6 points and we come away with none. And as much as there's positive aspects to those performances, we know we need to get some results on the board and some points on the board. So the players have been brilliant. They're working so hard off the field and on the field to be better, to look at the things we need to tidy up on. And ultimately at the moment we're just falling short in both penalty areas, whether that be in those key moments to defend our goal or actually putting the chances we're creating in the back of the net. So that's been a big focus for this week, and we know come Saturday we are going to have to be clinical in both boxes. As good as some of our players being in between the boxes, that clinical nature, that clinical mindset to finish off chances we create and defend their own box is going to be critical as moving forward.
With all that in mind, how has the week been on the training ground and amongst the players as well?
Look, the spirit within this group is outstanding. It really is. They care so much about getting some results and making our supporters proud, and they're devastated at the moment that we can't give those feelings and emotions to our supporters to be proud of this football team. But it's only them who can turn around. It's only us who can turn around. And only through hard work, resilience, determination, desire can we turn this run of results round. And I can assure everyone that the players are showing all those qualities in abundance on a daily basis. And I've never seen a more determined group to get this team moving forward. So that is our complete focus now for Saturday. To be ready for a tough challenge away at Forest Green, prepare as well as we can, turn up there with a huge emotional energy, intensity, ready to fight for everything we're going to get and fight for those 3 points.
You mentioned Forest Green. What do you expect? What do you expect to see from Mark Cooper's men?
Well, without doubt, Coops' Forest Green team are a very good side at this level. We know they're flexible, we know they're adaptable, we know they've got a very clear methodology and philosophy of play. But Saturday we've got to make more about Stevenage. We've got to make sure that we go there, we're aggressive to assert our identity on the game. The players have got a positive mindset to make sure the game's played the way we want it played, not the opposition. And we've got to go there with a mindset we're coming away with 3 points. And that's what the players have been doing this week. They've been working incredibly hard to understand what are the challenges we're going to face, but also what questions we pose them to give them some problems and make sure we're in a position to get those 3 points on Saturday.
And finally, in terms of injuries, is there any possibility of some senior players returning?
Look, the medical team and the S&C team are working really hard away from the field. I've got to give huge credit to the injured players. I think that's a demonstration of where our culture's at the moment. Their work ethic, their detail, their preparation, not just in terms of when they're on our time, but in their own time, has been outstanding. Which means that some of them may well be ahead of schedule and give themselves a chance for Saturday. But we've got to monitor that as it goes, and we've also got to do the right things as well. We know where we're at, we've got to win football matches quickly, but we also know we've got to treat our players the right way and make sure when they're ready to come back in, they are at full match speed, and they're going to be ready for a long time. So that's the challenge now, is just do all the work we can away from the field to give them every chance of either Saturday, but certainly we'll have a couple back for the following Saturday.
Well, that is a really positive interview from Mark, as the last 3 have been, Dan. What do you take from that interview?
I really liked it. I think he talks so much sense. I think, when he mentioned, the players are devastated and upset, that they haven't able to pick up the wins for the fans and everything and get the wins for themselves. I find it quite emotional because we're just as devastated as the players are, but they're working incredibly hard and we're just not getting that luck. And Mark's obviously upset himself that we're not getting the results, and he wants to he wants to change that, and he wants this team to go on and do really good things. And he sounds so enthusiastic. He's the players sound ready. They need to go to Forest Green with a good mindset. Believing that they can, give it a go and put in the performance of their lives to get that for the first 3 points.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoyed listening to that actually. But yeah, it's quite emotional at the same time, I think. Because everyone's just devastated at the club at the moment and we're not getting that win. But
I think it was the tweet today or the Facebook today the club put out said, I know that supporting us recently sucks or something like that. I don't know if you saw it as well, and it kind of epitomised us Stevenage fans at the minute. But one thing I love about Mark, and I've said this last week on the podcast, I even said it to him on Monday, I love his passion. And I love his enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
And
we've never really had that at this club.
We've never had that.
Long time.
I'm gonna make a bold statement in a bit, but what I'm gonna say for now is he loves the club and he loves us and he loves the people, he loves the players. And for a guy that's just been here since July, I think that's astounding. I'm gonna say something now. I'm gonna make a bit of a bold statement. I've been supporting Stevenage nearly 20 years, coming into that bracket. Probably nearly 20 years. And in my time, I've seen a lot of managers. I think he's probably the most honest one we've had, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think his passion's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we haven't really had a manager in the past who has had that passion as what Mark's got.
Yeah.
And, listening to that interview, I've never felt emotional over an interview.
Yeah.
In my whole time supporting this club.
I agree. I just think he's the most.
I supported this club for 12 years, and it's just lovely. It's just amazing to hear such a great man in Mark himself. Really wanting this club to go forward.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant. It's brilliant to have. I really hope he does well here. He deserves it.
Again, I said it earlier. I think he's, since I've been going, the most honest manager we've had. I think when he talks, and we've had some great managers. You can list Wesley and Stimson and I don't know, great managers. But he, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think he's the most honest manager. He says it how it is, and he kind of has that kind of influence, doesn't he? Yeah. Which I think is fantastic. Now, what we'll do is we'll move on to the teams that we've chosen for Saturday. So, Dan, I'm going to come to you on your team, and I want you to go through it. And then what I want you to do is, once you go through it, because we do this every week and we kind of fly through it, but we don't really get like an explanation. So what I want us to do is go through these teams, and then just give us a little explanation why you've chosen that, what formation, and why you've chosen the players you have.
Okay, so I've gone with 4-2-3-1. I feel it's a very solid formation. I think you use this formation quite a lot, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I have chosen this formation, but it'll be really interesting to see.
I think it could potentially work. I think it could work. I'm going to tell you who I'm playing. Paul Farman has to go in goal. As always, he's our number one.
No brainer.
Luther at right back. I didn't think he was that great against Northampton personally. I thought he struggled a bit, but he'll pick it up, and we can't really play anyone else. We haven't really got another right back who can fit in there. Terence Van Cooten's injured, so and Luther's our main man.
But I will say this, sorry to butt in, and I think this will tie along with your team. It sounded like there might be a few injured players back, so it's interesting to hear this, because by the sounds of that interview, the injury list was asked, and maybe there might be a Van Cooten back, and Ben Nugent's been back in training. You never know. Sorry, Dan, go on.
I'll tell you what. I've actually put Nugent in my side because I've strongly heard that he could potentially be back.
Well, I'm going to say something. He's been back training.
Oh yeah,
with the first team.
Yeah.
So
and the cast is off.
I'm not going to
kicking a ball.
I'm not going to
great signs there.
I'm not going to tell the listeners or yourself how I know that. You could probably work out why, but he's back training, and he's been back training with the first team all week.
No, it's good. It's good to see. Very good to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a lot of injured players back, haven't we? Which is a massive boost, because we're missing loads. And obviously Dean Parrott as well, and like TVC as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got Nugent in there. If he's fit though, I do believe he is. If not, I'll have to stick with Watts. Scott Cuthbert. Has to play, back from injury, looked really fresh. He looks like he was in good shape on Tuesday. Chris Stokes at left back, I thought he's been absolutely superb, I think.
I like that. What's your midfield?
The two I've gone is Byram and Hussein.
Yeah.
Byram, didn't play Tuesday. I don't think he played Tuesday, did he?
Who was that? Sorry, Byram.
Yeah.
No, Byram didn't play Tuesday. It was Hussein, Carter, and Kennedy in the midfield.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Byram's suffering from a knock or something, but if he's fully fit, I'd play Byram because I actually think he's been really good.
Yeah. Okay.
I personally do. Hussein, can't argue with that. I thought Hussein's looked good on Tuesday. I thought it deserves a start.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
And I've got three just behind the striker who I've just got up front there. Elliot List, out wide because of his pace and acceleration.
Yeah.
Charlie Carter in a cam role. I think, he's more of a cam. He's more of a player that can push forward with the ball. And I've liked Charlie Carter the past few games. I think he's looked very promising. Danny Newton out on the left. I think he's been playing on the left recently. Don't have a problem with him there. He's got that pace, and but yeah, I would have Danny Newton on the left, and up front on his own, Guthrie.
Yeah, the big man.
And so that is my team.
That's your team. I like that, Dan. Really good setup in the midfield. I like your attacking options as well. My team's somewhat similar, but a different formation. I've actually going 4-2-3-1, but making a 4-5-1. So 5 in the middle as a bit of support, because I believe this Saturday, really tough match, and we've played a lot of attacking formations the last 9 matches with no win. So I'd actually like to see us tighten it up, make us hard to play against, and I've gone for this team. Paul Farman in goal, again, no brainer. Luther Wilding at right back. Scott Cuthbert at centre half as captain. Love Scotty. I think he was brilliant the other night. Again, not sure about Nugent. I've chosen Watts. If Nugent's fully fit, I'd play him. But for me, I wouldn't, because I don't want to rush Nugent. I want him to play when he's fully fit. He's only been in training all week, so I'd give him a couple of weeks to get fully fit again.
Okay.
So I play Watts.
Yeah.
My left back, I've gone Chris Stokes. No brainer there. My two in the middle, so my two players sitting in front of the back four as a protection. I've gone for Nur Hussain and I've gone for Joel Byram. Again, Joel didn't play on Tuesday, but I'm hoping he's fit. That would be my midfield. If not, if Soares is back fully fit, I'd play Hussain and Soares. But it's got Joel in there at the minute. On the right, I've got Elliot List. For me, I'd look to play Listy in a different role rather than up top. I can see why Mark's playing him there. You need that outlet up there with a lot of pace, and he takes pressure off the back four because he's always on the last man, so it allows our back line to get up and play a bit higher.
I agree.
But I'd put him on the right. I'd like to see him there. In front of Hussain and Byram, I've put Ben Kennedy. I'd like to see Kennedy more in a central role. I think when he's in a central role, he interconnects the play a lot more, and I'd like to see him play there. On the left-hand side of midfield, I've actually gone for Tyler Denton.
Okay. Interesting one.
He's fit. He's played in the Football League Trophy, and he looks fit to me. I think as a left wing player, what he'd do really well is he's got pace. He'd go forward really well. Good crosser of the ball, but defending, he can come back, and he can almost play as a left wing back, and there could even be
Stokes, can't he?
Yeah, and if we're going through a troubled time in the match, he can even fill in just next to Stokes, and so I'd play him there. I think he'd offer a real balance on that left side, and I've gone for Curtis Guthrie up top in front of Kenners, and I think with people like Danny Newton and Paul Taylor and Jason Cowley coming off the bench, I think that's
some good options on the bench. I think
in this I would include Charlie Carter, so Carter for me would be on the bench. So I like that team, and I think that team would be good enough to get at least a point. But I'd back those boys to win.
I'll put Kennedy on the bench. I feel, the same reasons for Nugent. Maybe we should, I don't think Kennedy looks fit, to be honest. I think we need to save him.
Yeah.
When he's fully fit, Kennedy could be a right danger, can't he?
Yeah, completely agree. Now, really good to go through that, Danny. Now, it's a bit of a tricky one tonight because there's only two of us. We've had to miss a few things out in the podcast. Harley and Farley's disagreement corner we were going to do tonight, and it was a cracking one as well. But because
Farley and Lusby's disagreement
I think we should fill that in sometime, to be honest. But because Harley's not here, we obviously can't do that. Let me tell you, we did say this last week. It is a cracking disagreement corner. It's a massive debate at the football club at the minute. We will use that for next week. Now there are other features. Fans' voice we haven't got on today because we had the big podcast on Monday. We're kind of just doing a quick short one tonight. So we'll move on to Monday. Now, it was a pretty cool day, I got to be honest. We were invited to go to Bradbury End and do the podcast with Mark Sampson and Alex Ravel. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a privilege. I was very proud to meet the boys. I'd met Mark at the open day, and I'd met Alex last season, so I'd met them before. I'm not sure if Joe and Harley had met them. I don't think Joe and Harley had ever met them. It was amazing. We got invited up there. Alex showed us around the training ground. He showed us the gym. He showed us Mark's office, which is huge, I've got to be honest. It's got all the Burger King backdrop for his interviews. They showed us the boot room in the kit room. They showed us a lot to do in there, basically. It was an absolute fantastic experience. We were able to have a sit down and do the 12th episode of the podcast with them. It was nerve-wracking.
I can imagine.
It was, and for the listeners, I'm going to be honest now, this is a bit of an insight to the listeners. It was off the cuff. Nothing had been planned for the podcast. So when we came round to doing it, we just did it off the cuff with them, because we thought that if we planned all this stuff, it wouldn't have been from the heart, and we generally wanted just to have a sit down and just have a normal discussion rather than having anything planned. Well, we did have things planned, like the game that we played, getting to know the team, which was great fun in the end. We just wanted to sit down and have a general chat with them. It was great. I've got to be honest. I was just overwhelmed, and I was so thankful for the opportunity that they gave us. Mark Sampson, let me tell you, is a lovely guy. He was just the nicest guy you'd meet. He was lovely. He gave us a hug. We had a chat. He was showing us around the training ground and he was talking about certain phrases. One phrase that stood out for me where he said he's got a phrase in the canteen on the wall that says, what does it say again? It says something about you never be amazed of what a small group of men can achieve, or something like that. It was great. Alex Ravel, what a lovely, smiley, funny guy he is. We had a really good chat. And what top men. One thing that really not shocks me, because obviously they're both lovely guys, but they got on so well. I could not believe the camaraderie between them both. And then Mark said that he'd known Revs prior, so then I thought, they've known each other through football, I'd imagine. The camaraderie that they had was unbelievable. It was a great opportunity, and for us at the podcast, I mean, we've been doing the podcast, Danny, for since June.
Yeah,
it's been amazing to be invited to do it by both of them.
Yeah, I would have loved to have joined you.
I know, unfortunately, you couldn't be there.
Maybe I'll get another chance.
I'm sure in the future they would love to sit down again. I think they enjoyed it. We certainly did. Yeah. What I loved was the honest chat we had. Their passion was just overwhelming. And do you know what? I love both of them. I think they're great. What was funny was talking about the team and discussing the team. We did a little get to know the team. A few things did shock me, actually. The hard man of the team didn't, with Cuthbert, Newton and Stokes and Adam and
Ab. I can't imagine Cuthbert being the hard man.
Yeah, Charlie Carter apparently is the one that leaves the training ground latest because of all the products he's putting on. I will say this as well. I saw Curtis Guthrie's little shower bag in the changing room. All those products, the hair, the face. I swear he's got about 4 Nivea creams in it. It's brilliant. But I tell you what, it was a great game to play. One that shocked me, we spoke about Joe threw in a bit of a spanner and said, who's the softest of the team? And I said, from an outside point of view, I said, it might be Arthur, because Arthur's a young lad. I said that, and Revs went, whoa, no, Arthur's not the softest. Arthur's quite hard. And I thought, okay. So it was... And then I think Revs went for Joel Byram in the end, but then he backtracked and said, no, I'm not choosing Joel, you're putting words in my mouth. And I thought, Revs, own it.
I can quite imagine Joel being a softie though.
Nah, Joel's a lovely guy, but it was great. And I just want to say for Mark and Revs, if they're listening, Mark, I think we know that Mark's listening, but I'm not sure about Revs. Because Revs said that, he hadn't really, and we said, episode 7, great episode. And then Joe went, well, that's this episode. It was so funny. But if they are listening, Mark and Revs, thank you so much for Monday. It was an amazing experience. It was amazing to have a sit down with you boys and meet you personally, and we'd love for you to come on again. Don't be a stranger. Come on again, basically. It'd be great to get them on, wouldn't it? So
I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get more people on and they can get to meet more Borough fans, to which they would like.
Absolutely.
So we'll move on now to our League 2 roundup section. Now, we do this section every week on the podcast. It's a little roundup to go through everything League 2 as we go through everything Borough and everything League 2. Now, we're going to go through Saturday's results. Obviously, we've got 2 sets of results to go through for Saturday and Tuesday. I'll go through them now. Saturday's results were, obviously, Borough losing 2-3 to Carlisle. Crawley 1, Mansfield 0. Crewe 2, Cambridge 3. Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 2, Forest Green 1, Colchester 0, Northampton 2, Newport 0, Oldham 2, Grimsby 2, Port Vale 1, Plymouth 0, Salford 0, Cheltenham 2, Scunthorpe 3, Morecambe 0, Swindon 3, Macclesfield 0, and Walsall 0, Bradford 1. Some interesting results here. Danny, any that stand out from Saturday?
Yeah, there's a few actually. I mean, what a good point for Leyton Orient. Away at Exeter.
Yeah,
Exeter are top of the league. Cambridge got a good result against Crewe.
Yeah, Cambridge I'm going to read Cambridge's out in a little bit, which is a great result. Quickly fly through the results on Tuesday. Obviously, Borough losing 1-0 against Northampton. Carlisle 0, Forest Green 0, Cheltenham 3, Bradford 2, Crawley 2, Plymouth 2, Exeter 2, Port Vale 0, Leyton Orient 1, Crewe 2, Macclesfield 1, Newport 1, Mansfield 0, Cambridge 4, Morecambe 0, Walsall 1, Salford 1, Grimsby 0, Scunthorpe 2, Oldham 2, and Swindon 0, Colchester 3. the standouts have got to be Cambridge 4-0 and Colchester 3-0, haven't they?
Yeah.
What's going on there, Dan? With Mansfield, they've dropped a little bit like a stone since we beat them in April, isn't they?
Yeah, they have.
What's going on there?
Probably the management, maybe. You know, they got rid of their manager and they haven't been the same. Obviously got rid of Tyler Walker, who's a massive player for them.
He's at Lincoln now, isn't he?
Not good signs for Mansfield at the moment. Swindon losing to Colchester. I don't think Colchester haven't been in the best of form, have they?
But Colchester have improved a lot. I know they lost to Forest Green on Saturday, but they are improving, slowly but surely. And we've got them on the 5th of October in 2 weeks, so that's going to be a really tough match away.
Another result that surprised me as well. Cheltenham beating Bradford 3-2.
Yeah, but we know how tough they are to play. So, I think
I think Cheltenham are one of the best teams I've seen.
I think it's credit to our forward line scoring 2 goals there, because it's shown that actually it's a tough place to go.
Absolutely.
Now, we'll quickly fly through the league table and the top goal scorers before we come onto the fixtures. I'll start from bottom, just to get it out the way early. Currently bottom. I want us to give a round of applause for this after. Currently bottom, 24th place, 9 matches played, 3 points is Borough. Give them a round of applause. Go on, the Borough. Unfortunately, we're there.
We'll turn it around.
We will turn it around. 23rd place, 9 matches with 5 points is Scunthorpe. 22nd place with 6 points is Morecambe. 21st place with 7 points is Oldham. And 20th place with 9 points is Walsall. So if Borough can get a win, we're involved in that pack, which I think is important for our club and our team. Top of the table, very competitive. Currently in first place is 21 points is Exeter City. Currently second place with 18 points is Crewe Alexandra. Third place with 17 points is Cheltenham Town. Fourth place with 17 points is Swindon. Fifth place with 17 points also is Forest Green. Sixth place with 16 points is Newport County. Seventh place with 15 points is Crawley Town. And 8th place with 14 points is Cambridge United. So if you win in 8th place, you can shoot up to 3rd. So up the top's very competitive. And I've got to be honest, there's a lot of teams there that we've played already, isn't there, in that top off, or coming to play, sorry. Goal scorers as they stand, I do believe that I have 6. In 6th is with 4 goals Nicky Law of Exeter. In 5th with 5 goals is Luis Alessandro of Morecambe. In 3rd with 5 goals, 3 assists is James Hanson of Grimsby. In 3rd with 6 goals and 1 assist is Danny Rose of Mansfield. In 2nd with 6 goals and 1 assist is Bez Lubala of Crawley. And currently top of the goal scoring sheet with 7 goals and no assists is Owen Doyle of Swindon. So it's quite a competitive goal scoring list as well. Curtis Guthrie is on there with 3, quite a way down, and then there's Danny Newton with 2, so it should be very interesting. Now we'll quickly read out the fixtures that are coming up this Saturday. Obviously Borough away at Forest Green, Bradford v Carlisle, Cambridge v Swindon, Colchester v Leyton Orient, Crewe v Salford, Grimsby v Macclesfield, Newport v Exeter, Northampton v Crawley, Oldham v Morecambe, Plymouth v Cheltenham, Port Vale v Mansfield and Walsall v Scunthorpe. So some very competitive matches there. For me, I think Crewe Salford is a really good match. Plymouth Cheltenham.
Newport Exeter, I think.
Yeah, well, Newport Exeter is a cracking game. Grimsby Macclesfield's another. 2 ones that stand out for me. We've got a very tough match away, and we know that we'd just take a point on Saturday considering the match.
Yeah.
One thing that makes me a little bit more comfortable, Walsall playing Scunthorpe and Oldham are playing Morecambe. So 4 of the teams above us, just above us, are all playing each other. So hopefully 2 teams can drop points, which would be big for us. And then we get a win, and hopefully we're off the foot of the table, which would be a positive for our club and our team.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Now, obviously, it is that time again. And I will say it because we say it every week, we need a new name, but I don't think we do. The Stevenage Football Club Podcast League 2 Fixtures Prediction Competition.
Do not want to hear my results. I've had a shocker the past
Now, this is a competition where supporters and Borough fans, anyone can get involved. It's predicting the League 2 fixtures. There is a league table, 3 points for a correct prediction, 2 points if you get half a prediction correct, so one team scoreline right. You don't get any points for a wrong prediction, and if you get a prediction on any one of Borough's scores, you get an extra bonus point, whether that's for the 3 points or the 2 points, you get an extra bonus point. Now, it was quite a competitive week considering Saturday to Tuesday, a lot of points scored. Saturday there was a lot of points scored, but Tuesday was hardly none. Now, we'll have a call out of the league table. We're going to give a round of applause for each player. Currently in 14th place, bottom at the minute, winning the Borough Wooden Spoon by quite a while with 19 points is Jack Slater. Well done, Jack.
Well done, Jack.
Currently 13th place, with 46 points. Doing quite well, catching the pack up, is Nate. Well done, Nate.
Well done, Nate.
Currently 12th place with 55 points, having a poor 2 weeks, I have to admit, is Borough Bits. Borough Bits. Currently 11th place, also with 55 points, level with Borough Bits, is Charlie Vaughan. Well done, Charlie. Currently 10th place with 78 points, getting better. And I know he's going to be very happy about this because he's 20. Actually, no, sorry. He's 23 ahead of Joe. 78 points. 10th place. Reece Donnelly. Well done, Reece. In 9th place, 81 points. Mark Slater.
Well done.
8th place with 93 points. Ollie Long. 7th place, and he's not going to like this, dropping 3 places.
I don't want to hear it.
7th place, 99 points, 1 point of 100. Danny Lusby. Well done, Danny. 6th place, leapfrogging Danny, 102 points, is Hartley Borough.
I'm not clapping that.
He's not clapping, I'm the only one.
I'm joking.
In 5th place, started off in 10th in the league, he's 5th now, 102 points. James Walker. Well done, James. This is where it gets interesting. 4th place, 104 points, 2 points ahead of James and Hartley, is Aidan Cheevers. Well done, Aidan. 3rd place, top 3. Oh, I'm happy about this. With 115 points, Matt Farley.
Well done, Matt.
Oh, and a ginger. Loving it. 2nd place with 132 points is Patrick Jackson.
Patrick.
And currently top of the helm, 149 points. He's not here to gloat about it.
He's not even here.
I'm happy he's not here to gloat about it. It's Harley Clark. Well done, Harley. So I've got to be honest, a fantastic league table. Now, a couple of stats from Tuesday. Joe and Jack did not send their predictions. 0 points. Harley was the highest scorer, with 17. Danny, you got 7 points.
Terrible.
I got 12. Patrick Jackson got 11. James Walker got 15. It was quite a high... Well, I say high scoring week. No, it wasn't. There wasn't anyone getting into the 20 points. It was really, really interesting. Now, we are going to do our League 2 predictions because we've got them here. Now, Danny, I'm going to ask you for your predictions first and then we'll come on to mine.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So, Bradford Carlisle, I've gone with a 2-0 win for Bradford.
Yeah.
Cambridge Swindon, I've gone with a win for Swindon. I think Swindon will bounce back.
Okay.
I think they'll win 2-1. I think Colchester will beat Leyton Orient 2-0.
Okay.
They'll have the confidence after their brilliant win against Swindon in midweek. I'm going with, for Crewe Salford, I've gone with a 3-0 win for Crewe.
3-0 win for Crewe. Okay.
Yeah, very strong at home, and I think they'll win quite comfortably against Salford. Forest Green Stevenage.
Yeah.
I've gone for a 1-0 win for Borough.
Oh, okay.
I really think we're gonna get our first win.
Yep.
And so I've gone with a 1-0 win for Borough. Grimsby, Macclesfield. I've gone with a 3-1 win for Grimsby.
Okay.
Newport Exeter, I've gone for a 0-0. I think that'll be a very tight game.
Yeah.
Both sides going for it. Northampton Crawley, I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Oldham Morecambe, I think Oldham will win 2-1.
Yeah.
I think Plymouth will beat Cheltenham 2-1 at home.
Yeah.
I think Port Vale will beat Mansfield 1-0.
Yeah.
Mansfield have been poor, so and Port Vale have been decent, so I think they'll win. And the last one, I've gone with a 2-0 win for Walsall against Scunthorpe.
Okay, Danny, some really good predictions
Hopefully
there.
that'll get me some points to push myself up that
Yeah, hopefully I'll push up the table. Now, I'm really sorry to the listeners, I've just found out some big news on social media. I'm going to quickly announce it after we've done the predictions.
Ooh, very exciting.
Don't look at your phone. I want this to be a surprise for you. Don't look. Yeah, I'm quite interested to say it now. My predictions, I'm being positive. I'm going Forest Green 0, Borough 1. Let's have it.
Yeah.
Last 10 minutes, let's get 6 points,
Let's
push the
get
team,
in there.
get up there, get into the pack and change our season. I'm going Borough 1-0. My games are Bradford 2, Carlisle 1, Cambridge 2, Swindon 2, Colchester 2, Leyton Orient 0, Crewe 1, Salford 1, Grimsby 3, Macclesfield 1, Newport 1, Exeter 1, Northampton 2, Crawley 0, Oldham 1, Morecambe 0, Plymouth 1, Cheltenham 2, Port Vale 0, Mansfield 0, and Walsall 1, Scunthorpe 1. So those are my predictions for the League 2 prediction. I will tweet out the fixture tomorrow. Please get involved, and for the people that are involved, for Pete's sake, please send them through, because Joe and Jack are sent in 0 points because they haven't sent in a prediction. So please send them in.
Get a move on, lads.
Danny,
come on.
It was really, really good to go through that, mate.
Definitely.
Big news. I've just seen on my phone.
Okay.
Would you like to know what it is?
Absolutely.
The listeners will know by now.
I think we will all be fascinated to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Oldham Athletic have just appointed a manager, Dino Mamria.
Really?
Yeah, they've just appointed Dino Mamria. So we will be seeing Dino back at the Lamex this season.
He was linked with Oldham.
Yeah. What do you make of that news, Dan?
Well, I'm surprised and I'm not, because I thought Oldham had a manager.
Yep.
Did they sack him?
I do believe so. Or he might
And they must have had Dino on their mind.
Crazy.
I wonder how he's going to do with them.
Dino Mamria. So it's going to be... When do we play Oldham? 22nd of November.
Right.
It's going to be Mark Sampson and Alex Ravel against Dino Mamria. That is going to be a...
it's going to be...
Wow, a tasty fixture. My word, that is going to be tasty. Good luck to Dino, though, there. Very similar to ourselves in a bit of a predicament, but yeah, just found out that news now. Danny, really thanks for going through that, mate. That was brilliant to go through. Now, we're coming to the end of the podcast today. Now, again, we are very sorry for the listeners with Harley and Folly's Disagreement Corner. One other thing, we are currently at Shepplebury Academy in the offices, so we are very sorry if there has been noise around in the background. It's been other people walking outside and a couple of people coming inside, so we are very sorry to listeners about that. Now, last part of the podcast, want to make it short and sweet. Q&A section, question and answers for us on the panel. So this is a chance for people to get their questions heard and have their opinion heard by sending in and tweeting and Facebooking their questions to the panel. Now, we have got a couple, Danny. I do believe we've got about 2 or 3 each. I'm going to come to you with the first question, and this is from Lopo. And Lopo has asked, what date are we getting relegated? Oh, that is a... Would you like to answer?
Yeah, I'd like to answer. There isn't going to be a date because we're not getting relegated. We will stay up and we will turn our season around.
Yep.
That's a good answer, I think.
Yeah, Danny, I agree with you, mate. I think we won't get relegated. Next question is coming from Thora. Now, Thora, Mark Hollis, Mark hasn't sent in a question. Mark has said, hi, Matt and the team, love the show. Thank you, Mark. Do you think it's possible to get the ball down and play entertaining football when all of our players, are less good than most of the other players in most of the other teams? Now, I think they can. I think they can get the ball down and play well. I think we saw that on Saturday. We played through the lines. A lot of people, as yourself, Dan, said earlier about the Elliott list, I think we were trying certain things on Tuesday that just didn't work out. Mark's only been in the job with Revs for a week. It's going to take time, 2 to 4 weeks of transition. I think our players are good enough to get the ball down. I think we have got some talented players, some quality and technically quality players in the team. Don't forget there's a lot of players that are injured. When the Parrots and the Sanoupes come back, I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of quality in getting the ball down. But at the minute, Carter and Hussein are good on the ball and technically really good players. So, no, I think we're going to be absolutely fine. I think there's no problem there, in my opinion. I think Mark's going to get them playing good football as he did with the England ladies team and the setup and the other organisations he's been in with Bristol. So I'm positive that we are absolutely fine with getting the ball down. Another question for you, Danny. This comes from Puds. Are you worried we will run out of academy coaches when we keep promoting them every few games?
I'm not worried at all. I mean, we got Ronnie Henry as an academy coach.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, he's doing all right.
I think he's doing very well.
Yeah. A legend at the club, managing the youngsters. I think we've had a lot of legends at the club that have gone and managed the youngsters. Alex Ravel was appointed as well as the under-18 academy players manager.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's working with Mark, so he's clearly moved on now. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We had Jordan Gibson as well. who went to Newport. Obviously, with Jordan, it didn't really go to
plan.
No, it didn't really go to plan at Newport, obviously, because of the circumstances that have happened there.
But I think I think it might be a little bit of a sarcastic question, because he's saying that we are implementing a lot of academy coaches into the setup. But
but we're bringing in academy players into first team. You know, we've had Ben Kennedy, Louis Fernandez, you can name the whole lot, Ben Wilmot, etc.
On the flip side, though, Puds, I will quickly put this into that answer as well. Don't forget, it's not a bad thing. All these academy coaches are getting a lot of experience of managing or being a part of a professional football club setup. So it's only going to benefit Alex Ravel. If Ronnie Henry's there in the future, it's only going to benefit Ronnie. So don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Next question for me, and I do believe this is actually the last question we've got, is from Mike Kahneman. And Mike has asked, I'm going away on Saturday for 2 weeks. Where should I expect the Borough to be when I get back? Very simple, Mike. I think a lot of people would suggest where they think they're going to be down the bottom. I'm going to say Borough, after 2 weeks, are going to be sitting with 9 points, 20th place, with a platform to kick the club and the team on up the table. That's what I'm going to answer,
Very
Mike.
good answer.
Very positive as always. But thank you ever so much for the supporters for sending their questions in. Again, nice short, sharp podcast tonight. I know that we've been going probably just about bang on an hour, but it's been quite nice to have that in. So thank you once again. We've come to the end of the podcast, which is
brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Considering it's a short one, we've got a good hour there. I'm quite impressed with that. Now, thank you to all the listeners once again for getting involved. Again, we want to thank everyone for the fantastic feedback that we've received on Monday's podcast, which included with Mark Sampson and Alex Ravel. It was great to give our great supporters a platform like that, to be able to listen to Mark and Revs, the new top boys at the club, and we got some amazing feedback on it, so thank you for the listeners for that. Again, we are very sorry that we couldn't do Harley and Farley's Disagreement Corner, because Harley's not here tonight, and Fans Voice. Next week will be an absolute cracking podcast. Next week we are going to be doing the Mark Sampson and Alex Ravel quiz. So this is going to be a chance for the listeners to get involved, and there might even be some prizes up for grabs. We're going to wait and see. So that's going to be on. We're going to have Harley and Farley's Disagreement Corner. Hopefully we'll have about 4 of us on, and we're going to make it a really good podcast. By then we'll know Borough's result to Saturday's match away at Forest Green, and we'll be doing the build-up to Borough's local derby, 11th League 2 match of the season at home against Cambridge to end off September. So it should be a really, really good podcast. Thank you to all the listeners for listening. Thank you to everyone that's got involved with this podcast, the questions and the 3-word analyses. It's been really good. Danny, before we leave everyone, 1 word Saturday coming up, massive match for Borough. We need a win, but we take a point considering who we're playing. But we want to see Mark and the boys get a win. 1 word: win, draw, or lose.
Win.
I'm going to go win
It's not hard.
I'm going to go win as well. Earlier I was saying draw. No, I'm going to go win. Which will be
you need to show optimism.
Exactly. But for all the players that are listening, boys, go and do us proud there on Saturday. We're really backing you. And Mark, I know Mark listens to the podcast every week and every time. Mark, the supporters are backing you, mate. We love you at the club, and we want you to succeed and turn our beloved football club around. So, and I'm sure that you'll do that for Stevenage Football Club and us at Borough. But no, thank you to all the listeners. We'll be back next week for a fantastic podcast. Enjoy your weekend. If you're not going to Borough, enjoy a lovely glass of 3-point victory wine in the 24 degrees sun, which I've read it's going to be Saturday. For all the fans going to the Burger King vegan derby, along with myself, wearing the Burger King logo proud, along with our beloved Stevenage Football Club crest, the new crest. Enjoy the sun at the match. If you want to come and say hello, even if you want to come and have a chat with us at the podcast, we'll be there. I'm getting the supporters coach. Supporters coach is leaving at 10 o'clock, is it, Danny?
Yep.
And we've got our ticket, haven't we?
We're both going. Ready to support the lads.
And get behind the team. And also looking forward to all the upcoming matches in October and November and in the future. So
absolutely.
Thanks to all the listeners. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully we'll be sitting here with 6 points next week or 4 points. Thank you once again. You have been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.